Ever imagine yourself in a world, well, where dragons are real?
Yeah.
Not just like, mythical beasts.
Right.
But like powerful allies.
Right.
Like they actually shape everything from social hierarchies
Right.
to military strategies.
Yeah.
That's the world we're diving into today with Fourth Wing.
And you've got to think,
Right.
in a world where dragons are real,
Yeah.
power dynamics
It's true.
shift dramatically.
Sure.
They're not just creatures.
Right.
They're symbols of power,
It's true.
of military might,
Uh-huh.
even magic itself.
Yes. Totally. It's like suddenly
Right.
air superiority
Yeah,
changes the entire game.
Completely.
Right.
Mm.
And in this world,
Uh-huh.
we meet Violet Soaringale,
Violet.
who's more comfortable.
Yes. With a book than a weapon.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But this isn't a world that cares
agree.
much for comfort zones.
Especially not on conscription day.
Oh, tell me about conscription day.
So imagine this.
Okay.
You're 20,
Okay.
on the cusp of adulthood,
Right.
and your entire future
Yeah.
hinges on your performance.
Wow.
In a single high-stakes evaluation,
Jeez.
your skills, your aptitude,
Yeah.
everything
It's like the SATs.
is assessed,
And
your placement
oh my God.
determines your path.
Wow. But with like life or death consequences here,
Yeah.
it's a big deal.
And
For Violet, who would rather be
Violet,
analyzing?
ancient texts
Right.
than like facing down a dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Her worst nightmare
Right.
becomes a reality.
Yeah.
She's selected
And,
for the writer's quadrant.
the writer's quadrant, not for the faint of heart.
So tell me about the writer's quadrant.
So imagine a training regime
Okay.
so rigorous,
Right.
so demanding
Yeah.
that it pushes you to your absolute limits,
Wow.
physically
Right.
and mentally.
It's both.
You're constantly facing challenges,
Right.
not just to prove your worth,
Uh-huh.
but to survive.
Right. Like just making it through is
Intense.
an accomplishment.
Yeah.
They have this thing called threshing,
Right. Threshing.
and it sounds absolutely brutal.
It's a big deal.
You're telling me even making it through the training
Right.
doesn't guarantee you a spot
No.
as a dragon rider.
Threshing is the ultimate test.
Wow.
A make-or-break crucible
Right.
that determines who has what it takes
Yeah.
to be a dragon rider.
Wow.
It's about more than just skill.
Right.
It's about resilience, adaptability,
Mm-hmm.
the will to survive
Wow.
against incredible odds.
Yeah, you've got to wonder,
And you have to wonder.
what kind of toll does that take?
Right.
Even on those who succeed.
Right. Even on those who succeed.
Okay, so we've got all these aspiring riders, right?
Right.
Being pushed to their absolute limits.
Yeah.
But what about the dragons themselves?
Oh.
You mentioned different types. Like it's not
But
just
not like a
a one-size-fits-all.
one-size-fits-all.
Dragon Air Force.
Exactly.
It's
Each
a-
breed has its own
Yeah.
unique strengths and characteristics,
Okay.
almost like specialized units
Right.
in a military force.
Makes sense.
For example,
Okay.
you've got the blue dagger tails.
Okay, the blue dagger tails.
Think of them as like the fighter jets of this world.
Gotcha.
Speed, agility,
Right.
precision strikes.
Okay.
They're like the Top Guns
Wow. The Top Guns
of dragon warfare.
are dragon warfare.
Oh.
So who gets to ride
right.
these Top Guns?
Exactly.
It makes you wonder
Makes you think.
about the selection process.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. What kind of pedigree, what kind of skills would even put you
Exactly.
in the running for a blue dagger tail?
It speaks to the
Yeah.
existing power structures
Oh, interesting.
within this society,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Are the best riders
Right.
assigned the best dragons?
Right.
Or
Or is it more about,
are the most influential?
yeah.
The most
Yeah.
inherently powerful,
Right.
given that advantage.
Right. From the start.
From the start.
Okay. So it's like, yeah.
Right.
Like, are you
Like, who are you born to?
born into this? Yeah.
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay. So we've got the blue dagger tails.
Right.
We've also got green dragons,
Yes.
and they're described as incredibly intelligent.
Yes. Very much so.
Almost like the strategists, right? Like
Yeah.
the tacticians
Yes.
of the dragon world.
You could think of it that way, yeah.
Okay. So not just like
It's
a
interesting
workforce.
because their intelligence,
Right.
it isn't just instinctual.
Right.
It seems to be on par
Yeah.
with the most skilled
Okay.
human strategists throughout history.
So they're thinking
Imagine a creature
on a whole other level.
capable of not just aerial maneuvers,
Right.
but of anticipating
Right.
enemy movements,
Wow.
planning complex strategies.
War room in the sky.
Right. It adds a whole other dimension
Totally.
to warfare.
A whole other dimension, yeah. But it's not just about
Right.
brute strength or strategic thinking.
It's not just about
Right.
the fighting.
There's this whole other layer of this
kind of
bond.
between dragon and rider, between the rider and the dragon.
Right.
It's key.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
It's described as almost a
Okay.
telepathic connection,
Wow.
a sharing of thoughts, emotions, even instincts.
That's incredible.
Like, how do you even
The level of trust
train for that?
required
Wow.
for that kind of partnership.
Right. Is
For
that
both rider and dragon.
something you're born with?
It'd be so in sync,
Or is it something that's
Ugh.
cultivated?
nurtured
I mean,
over time.
That's where the concept of signets comes in.
Okay, signets. Yeah, what are those?
So these are unique,
Okay.
almost magical
Hey.
abilities
Oh, yeah.
that manifest
Okay.
in certain riders.
Okay, so like special powers?
You could think about it that way.
Yeah.
Imagine being able to
Shay.
enhance your dragon's fire breath,
Oh, wow.
or even heal their wounds mid-flight.
Okay, that's a game changer.
Right?
So you're telling me on top of everything else,
It's like a whole other
the training, the trials, the dragon bonding,
layer of complexity.
there's a chance you might get like
of unpredictability
superpowers thrown in the mix?
added to an already
Yeah.
volatile situation.
That's a lot.
What would it be like?
Yeah, that's a lot to handle.
To suddenly discover
Right.
you possess an ability
Right.
you never knew you had.
Wow.
And what would it mean
Right.
for your future as a writer?
So that brings us to
Right.
the other players in this world.
Yes.
Specifically, Eisen Rierson,
Exagen Rears.
the infamous wing leader
Right.
of the very quadrant
Of the very quadrant
that Violet finds herself in.
that Violet is in.
And let's just say, he doesn't exactly roll out the welcome mat.
No, not exactly.
We're our protagonist.
Azing is, he's an enigma.
Okay.
He's shrouded in this
Yeah.
aura of authority,
right.
of quiet power.
Okay.
You get the sense that he's
Yeah.
seen his fair share
Right.
of battles,
Right.
that he understands
For sure.
the true cost
He's seen something.
of survival
Right.
in this world.
For sure. For sure. And then there's Dane,
Right. They,
Violet's childhood friend, who
Yeah.
seems determined to protect her
yes, he does.
in this like
It does.
pressure cooker environment.
He wants to keep her safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Talk about a complicated dynamic.
It is complicated.
Right. You've got
Very much so.
ambition, rivalry,
Right.
maybe even a hint of
Sure.
something more
Right.
brewing beneath the surface.
Yes, there's a lot going on.
Right. And that's what makes Fourth Wing
Right.
so compelling.
It keeps you guessing.
It's not just about like
Right.
dragons and battles.
It's about the human relationships at the heart of it all.
Exactly.
Wow.
The alliances, the betrayals.
The bonds that hold people together
Yeah.
when everything else is falling
Yes.
apart.
Okay. So we've got political intrigue, right?
Yes.
Mysterious powers
Yes.
and enough interpersonal drama
Right.
to keep us guessing.
To keep us on the edge of our seats.
But let's get back to Violet.
Okay.
She's facing trials.
She is.
That would make, like, even the bravest among us
For her.
break a sweat.
It's intense what she's going through.
Let's talk about what she's up against. Violet's journey
Yeah.
through the writer's quadrant
Right.
is basically like
Yeah.
a crash course in survival.
Right.
Imagine yourself
It's a
facing challenge after challenge,
Yeah.
each one designed to push you to your absolute limit.
Absolutely.
We're talking about things like the
Yeah.
gauntlet,
Right.
this brutal obstacle course.
Uh-huh.
That sounds like something out of like a warrior's nightmare.
It's rough.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not just about like
It's not just physical
No.
strength or agility.
it's
Right.
it tests everything.
Yeah.
Imagine having to navigate
Right.
treacherous terrain. Okay.
While also being aware of
So you got
potential dragon attack.
be on your toes.
Sudden changes in weather.
Right.
Yeah. The gauntlet
It's a lot.
tests your adaptability,
Okay.
your strategic thinking,
It's very strategic.
your ability to just stay calm under
Right.
immense pressure.
Yeah, you've got to have like
Mhm.
nerves of steel
You could
to get through this.
Yeah, you could die.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a
You could really die.
microcosm like of this entire world
Yeah.
where danger can come from any direction
Exactly.
at any moment.
At any moment.
And your survival depends on
Yeah.
being constantly vigilant.
Right.
And just when you think Violet's reached her breaking point, She discovers something extraordinary.
She does.
Right.
She really does.
Her signet?
Yeah.
Remember how we talked about signets?
What?
Those
These unique abilities.
unique abilities.
Almost like hidden talents
Right.
within certain writers.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
Violet's is the ability
Yeah.
to stop time.
Okay, now that's
Pretty amazing.
a game changer.
Yeah.
Imagine the possibilities
So many.
in a dragon battle,
Right.
in a life or death situation.
Absolutely.
She has the power to just literally freeze time.
Freeze everything.
Talk about an ace up your sleeve.
Right.
Right.
That would be pretty handy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Here's where it gets...
that's where
it gets
your
tricky.
live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really...
Such immense power.
Right.
Especially in the hands of
Especially for Violet.
someone so inexperienced.
Right. She's still learning the ropes.
It's bound to have consequences.
She's in over her head.
Imagine.
It really makes you think
All right.
about the implications.
Potential, like,
Ripple effects.
what are the unintended consequences
Right.
of having that power?
The ethical dilemmas
Right.
of having that kind of control
Yeah.
over time itself.
Over time, it makes you wonder,
Right. It's like,
is this a gift
is this a good thing
or a burden?
or a bad thing?
Right.
Right. What would you do?
How does someone like Violet,
Yeah, exactly.
who's already struggling
Right.
just to survive,
She's already got so much going on.
even begin to grapple
Right.
with that kind of responsibility?
And then on top of that,
Right.
she's got this war
Oh, right.
looming on the horizon.
It is a war.
Remember those whispers of conflict
Oh, yeah.
of a neighboring kingdom
Uh-huh.
posing a threat?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And the mysterious Vanen,
Oh, right. The Vinen. They're scary.
creatures shrouded in myth and fear.
Right.
Yeah, Violet's world.
So there's like a lot.
It's about to get a
more.
whole lot more complicated.
It's like she's caught in the center
It really is.
of this perfect storm.
Right.
Right. A brewing war.
Yep.
That's a great question.
Fourth Wing leaves us pondering,
Right.
isn't it?
Yeah.
In a world where dragons are real,
Right.
where magic is both a gift and a burden,
Right.
and survival is a constant battle,
It's true.
what choices would you make?
Right.
What would it take
What would it take
to not just survive,
to survive?
but to truly thrive?
Wow.
Right.
That's the question.
That's the question.
And on that note,
Yeah.
we'll leave you to ponder
We'll let you think about that.
your own path in this
Yes.
dragon-filled world.
Think about what you would do.
Until next time,
Yes.
keep exploring.
Keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
Absolutely.
And keep diving deep.
Keep diving deep.